Hey, we were snipers. This is Tortimer the Gray. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Gray Version Season 3. Today we are kicking off with our first ZU battle, moving out of the Little Cup tier, having defeated Gym 1 last week, and we rolled for a rival battle as our first battle in ZU. So kicking that off, good to see everybody's rivals making a fresh appearance this week. You'll see some of my team is mildly familiar still. We've got Glinda and Oleander, our starter Glinda, and then Oleander, one of our standouts from the Little Cup tier. Our Oddish has evolved, so nice to have a little bit of familiar faces. The rest of them, though, Honey, the Vespiquen, Ridley, the Caracosta, Sulcata, the Torkoal, and Glyph, the Runagrigus, are new this week. Glinda up against Mac's starter. I think Mac was set up to sweep me, and then he's like, oh, I want to do starter v starter, and so just kind of gave me a little bit of time. My starter was able to take down his starters, which I was very excited about, but then he immediately brought in Chubby the Greedent to Belly Drum and take us down. So thank you so much, Rival Mac. I greatly appreciate your participation this week and for kicking us off in our first ZU battle, my first ZU battle ever. Not a tier I've ever messed around with, although to be frank, you guys, any of you guys who've been around know I don't do much outside of Little Cup in general, so probably not much of a deficit? Yeah, deficit's the D word I wanted. Not much of a deficit there in terms of experience for me compared to anything else. So, thank you so much again, Mac. I greatly appreciate it. Let's jump into the next battle, shall we? Here we go! Alrighty, guys, up against RivalNougat, and we are trying out the new hyper fast mode, or it's new since the last time I recorded Little Cup, at least, or Showdown. We're trying the new hyper fast mode because we've got a lot of really long battles, and I've got a kind of small window to try to get this episode recorded. I do apologize. My schedule is just jam-packed, and I'm literally Monday morning trying to get this cranked out and hopes to get it out today. If you guys have not joined my Discord, I recommend that you do so because especially when these episodes have been late, I will do the RNG rolls a little early and put what the next week is going to be in the Discord so that you can participate. Granted, we've not had anybody attempt to participate who hasn't already been in the Discord, but if you are wanting to participate, you got to join that Discord because sometimes we'll get some fore information in there. Glinda up against Burra here. I believe Burra was Nougat's starter, so Glinda able to do some good work against that as well. So yeah, we'll try this hyper fast mode. It's a little quick, and hopefully with future battles I'll be able to not explain what's going on with the episode and talk a little more about what's going on in the battle, but it flies by pretty quick. So yeah, well, hopefully it won't be too bad. We're gonna give it a shot this week, and if we don't like it, we won't try it again, but just figured I'd give it a go because it was new and I was like, maybe that'll help us save a little time. But yeah, Nougat and RivalNougat goes down. Thank you so much for your battle this week, Nougat. I greatly appreciate it. Let's check out the next one, shall we? Here we go. Alrighty, guys, and here we are up against RivalCodeman. Glyph comes out and sets up the stealth rocks. Cutiefly gets the quiver dance up and just does good work there. Ridley comes in and is going to be able to get rid of the Cutiefly. Glinda gets rid of the Machoke. Honey then gonna go down to the Skuntank. Sulcata comes in. This echoes his Tempo Seismitoad. I'm not remembering what the middle evolution of that line is called, but really was a pain in the butt. Oleander able to do a little bit of work here, get the poison up, but not gonna be able to do much against the orangutan or whatever that thing is called. And I don't have grass moves. Well, I have Oleander, but he was able to combat that by switching into a psychic type. So yeah, we didn't really have anything for these last two Pokemon, and so Codeman's going to go down there to the Toxic, but then going to finish us off with the Scald. So thank you so much for participating this week, Palpitoad. There it is in the chat. Fantastic. Thank you so much this week for participating, RivalCodeman. Even with 5 Pokemon, able to take down my team. So I greatly appreciate it. And let's jump into the next battle, shall we? Here we go. Alrighty guys, here we are up against Rival PocketFlygon, and there's Flygon's starter, the shiny Vibrava. Honey's going to go down to a Rock Slide there. Oleander switching out in face of the Psychic Flying type. Blip coming back in. The Magic Bounce getting the status move. For some reason I didn't think Magic Bounce worked on status. I was thinking more just like entry hazards and things like that. Nope, any status type move as opposed to a physical or special. So today I learned. Here we are, Oleander up against the Psychic type and able to stick it out. The Vibrava switches out in face of Glinda. Glinda not able to do much. This stupid Skidoo, not Skidoo. Go-Goat. Holy cow, the defenses on that thing. That was just so obnoxious. Charlie in, Glinda going to get the rest and stuff up. We do have the defense lower though, so going to switch out. Sulcana able to come in and finish off the Teddy Ursa. Glinda then switches back in. We get the Dazzling Gleam up as opposed to the Psychic, which is unfortunate on the Squidward. Finally get that Psychic. Squidward takes good damage. Glinda was my saving grace in some of these battles. Not that I was able to salvage most of these battles, mind you, but I was the sleep rest talk thing. Well, I'm sure super annoying for you guys, was the only thing that kept me in some of these battles. The Go-Goat finishing off the team, and Renegrigus Go Down's RivalFlygon takes the win. So, thank you so much for participating this week, RivalFlygon. I greatly appreciate it. Let's jump into the next one, shall we? Here we go. Alrighty, and up against Rival Klungar here. Leads off with his shiny Quillfish. Glyph gonna hang it out and try to get rid of the stupid thing. Finally able to. It gets 3 sets of spikes up in the meantime, though, as we just get our rocks. Then the Rotom comes in, and Rotom able to take down a good chunk of our team before switching out for the Rapidash. Sulcata goes down to the Rapidash. Ridley comes in, able to finish off the Rapidash and the Rotom, which was very nice. The middle evolution of Grookey comes in. Oh no. Oh, it's too early and I don't know enough about some of these new Pokemon. Ridley then up against the Frostmoth. Almost put a Frostmoth on my team instead of the Vespiquen. And then King Kong coming back in. Starter v Starter. Glinda going to do some resting here. We lose our Eviolite, though, with the knockoffs that the Grookey's evolution is throwing up, and Klungar able to take us down. I don't think the Kangaskhan even came onto the field, so that one wasn't really even close, probably, but thank you so much for participating this week, Klungar. I greatly appreciate it. Let's jump into the next one, shall we? Here we go. And here we are up against RivalScand. RivalScand leads off with her Aurorus, switches out. Glyph coming in, taking down Scand's starter, the shiny Gardevoir. Not Gardevoir. Wow, what is with me today? Kirlia. Wow, it really is early. I'm too dependent on coffee these days now that I have a baby. Alright, the Torkoal coming in and finishing off the Aurorus. Then Jackie comes in and going to switch out in favor of the Runegringus, or the Cofagrigus. So we got Runegringus and Cofagrigus, although my Runegringus is down. As I said, we should have done Yamask evolution on a Yamask evolution, but that was not to be. And down goes the Cofagrigus. Glinda is going to flinch, get the rest up as Noah starts setting up that 3x attack. Not great to let your opponent do that. Tortimer, you really shouldn't stop letting people do that. But he's going to go down. Oleander going to come in and get some good damage up on the Credilli, but not enough to finish. Honey has to come in and finish, but Honey's the last Pokemon left. And the Ice Punch from the Hitmonchan able to finish off. So thank you so much for participating this week, RivalScand. I greatly appreciate your continued support of the series, as I do with everybody. I think pretty much everybody has been here. We haven't, as I said earlier, we haven't really gained any new people, which is a little atypical with how we've done this series, but also we have to remember, haven't done a subscriber engagement series like this one specifically, at least. Maybe we've done one after this, but haven't had one since, for like 4.5 years. So not too surprising that in general there's not a lot of a giant pool of people who are like, oh yeah, let's jump in on that. Pretty much the people who want to participate are already in the Discord and stuff. So, but anyway, I greatly appreciate those of you guys who are here. We have plenty of battles just with you guys, which is why we're trying the hyper fast. Anyway, I need to stop talking and move on to the next battle. Thank you so much, RivalScand. I greatly appreciate it. Alrighty guys, here we are up against Rivalshonosaurus, and oh my gosh, Cormorant, or Cramorant, yeah, Cormorant is the animal that Cramorant is based on. Cramorant is freaking annoying. I've never battled one of these things before. Well, I'm sure I did at some point during Swish, but holy cow, super obnoxious. Honey is doing work up against the Poliwrath, able to hang in there with a roost, get a couple roosts set up, but he's setting up the water boosting, which is not great because then Cramorant comes back in and gonna finish off a couple of Pokemon here, gonna finish off all the Pokemon here. Oleander can't stand up. We have a serious water flying weakness on this team, I realize. If they aren't weak against water, they're weak against flying, basically, except for Glinda, who was dead already. But yeah, Cramorant. Who knew? An interesting Pokemon that maybe needs to get a little more investigation on my behalf. Need to look a little more into that Pokemon. Never used it, and probably battled one once in a story mode playthrough. So, yeah, interesting. Thank you so much for the battle, Rivalshonosaurus. I greatly appreciate it, and thanks for coming in with something kind of new and unique I've never seen before. I greatly appreciate it. Here we go. Alrighty guys, and here we are up against Rival Just Me though, and we are Glyph versus Stojourner. We were able to get the Toxic Spikes and the Rocks up, so Flapple coming in, gonna get that Toxic damage. Honey comes in, we do get the U-turn there. Honey able to get a good Air Slash up on the Hitmonchan, not enough to do a ton of damage. I was actually surprised with how bulky Hitmonchan seemed to be there, taking stab, super effective Air Slashes and just hanging out with it. They do get the rocks and stuff spun off. Soulcard also has Stealth Rocks, able to get a little bit of those back up. They do have the Lampet here behind the sub, which is a bit of a challenge for us. We get the Aqua Jet going and then get taken out. Oleander then going to go down immediately. Sulcata going to come in and go down immediately. Glinda going to come in and go down immediately. And Just Me, though, takes the victory. I was surprised. Must have happened really early in the week and I just forgot about it. But we had a victory early on in this episode, if you guys remember. We actually won one of these. Haven't won one since. But yeah, thank you Just Me though for participating this week. Zeo was not my tier, I guess, but let's see what happens in our final rival battle of the week. Here we go. Alrighty guys, here we are up against our final rival battle for the week, up against RivalEcat, and Ecat leads in with Staller the Walrein, and boy did this thing ever. I'm trying to think, did I see any of the rest of Ecat's team? I guess we'll find out together. Oleander switches and I'm like, surely Oleander can handle this, but then the ice beams and everything start coming out, and Oleander's bulky, but she's not that bulky. Ridley then comes in, gets toxic damage, finally takes down the Walrein. There we go, hey! We get Jazz Apples in, and then the, oh no, what is that thing's name? Malamar, there it is. Sulcata, so we took down a couple of Pokemon, look at us. The 4x defense Dubwool, able to take down Sulcata and Ridley there. Glinda finally able to finish it off, and then I believe that's Ecat's starter. No, was it? The starters was either Inkay or the Shiny Shelmet. I know he had the Shiny Shelmet on his team when we saw him last, but I can't remember. Anyway, although I don't think Ecat was actually here for the first rival battle. Ecat, comment in the comments down below, which one is your rival? Somebody had a Shiny Shelmet at some point because I commented on it in an episode. Maybe Ecat pulled it in for another battle that we were doing. I don't remember. Anyway, guys, that is all of our rival battles today. That kind of moved it along at a nice click with the Hyperfast. I'm not sure I love it in terms of actually being able to commentate what's happening in the battle, but we did okay, I guess. But yeah, I wanted to try that as an experiment. Makes the episode a more manageable little chunk, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let's jump over to the spreadsheet, and I will remind you guys what we're going to be doing for this week's battles. Here we go. Alrighty guys, just quickly because we've already kind of rolled this. So last week we did a ZU rival battle, which means that this week we're doing a gym battle. Because at this point in the series now, every other week is going to be a gym battle. So this week we are going to be doing a ZU gym battle, and because this episode is coming out so late, it's literally Monday morning as I'm recording this, which is usually when battles start happening. So I have to wrap this up and go start building a team. But we're going to be doing a ZU Dragon type battle, which Dragon is not the best tier team or type for ZU, because dragons generally have a little bit of usage at least, so there's not a ton of them in there, but it is only Gym 2, so feel free to use Little Cup or not fully evolved Pokemon, things like that. Will probably fit with the theme better anyway, and I have imagined, well, I was going to say, Eviolite, Shieldon? Bagon's evolution could probably be a bit of an issue, but that thing might be useful enough that it isn't in ZU. There are some non-fully evolved Pokemon that don't qualify for ZU even. So, but yeah, get your ZU Dragon teams put together, and I'm going to get my ZU Dragon Combatant teams put together, and we will do our ZU badge tiers. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching Gym 2 this week. Get your Dragon type teams put together for ZU, and I will see you guys all out there. As always, I've been Tortimer the Great, and you guys have been great. Have a good one.